Hey guys, welcome back to Puff It Louder, and welcome back to Charade Maniacs Iochi's Route. Last episode we learned all about the Morpheus project, where basically there were two moons, the second moon exploded, and we lost a ton of data, and yeah. If you want to know more about the Morpheus project, you can watch the last episode. But basically, Sena remembers certain things, but then she doesn't remember other things, and it's just really weird. There's just a lot of weird shit going on. We have a lot of plot points happening, and I'm just curious to learn more, so we're just gonna get right into it. Let's go. Iochi started up their bangle and started playing the past episodes in order. This one is a suspense drama. The content was violent. The cast members were hurting each other. There were also a few punishment games on the screen. The cruelness of it all appeared to show that this was what the Otherworld stream was supposed to be like. The story of the drama entered its climax, and one of the cast members refused to act. That put his points into the negative, and he was given a dead end. Ugh. Despite the cries and pleas, the director's ruthless announcement was made, and the cast member vanished. That's terrible. I whispered that out loud, and I noticed that my hands were shaking, and I had averted my eyes.
大丈夫。動画を止めようか。
I'm fine, but how could they do something so terrible?
そうだね。ああ、これで最終話みたいだ。エンドロールが流れ始めた。
Iochi, aren't you scared?
怖いか。僕は怖いというより。
Iochi, who was looking at me, glanced at the screen before quickly turning it off.
今の聞こえた？
Huh?
あ、いや、小腹が空いたみたいでお腹が鳴っちゃったんだ。
That was so weird. Why did they turn it off immediately? Like, they must have seen something that they didn't want us to see, or they must have noticed something on the screen and they were like, oh shoot, and then they just immediately shut it off or something. I don't know, that just seems so suspicious to me. Really? I didn't hear anything.
恥ずかしいな。夜食でも食べたいな。確か僕には料理上手な助手がいたはず。
Whoops, I cut them off. Iochi kept glancing at me, so I giggled and stood up. Alright, I'm not that good, but I'll make you a midnight snack that's easy to digest.
謙遜が得意だね。僕にしてみれば最高のシェフだよ。気遣いもその腕も。
Really? I didn't feel bad being complimented that way. I went to the kitchen wondering what to make, and I turned around because something bothered me.
僕も一緒に作ろうか。指示してくれれば手伝えるから。
It's not that. It'll be quick, so please have a seat. I couldn't say it, so I went back to the kitchen. It seemed like Iochi suddenly turned off the video and changed the subject. Is that just my imagination? No, it's not! It was so weird! Why? Why did they do that? There was some cream soup left over from dinner, so I poured it over some tofu and put some cheese on top to make a simple baked dish. That sounds really good. I really want some. It was a midnight snack made with leftovers, but Iochi seemed to enjoy it.
すごく美味しいよ。さすがセナ君。頼んでよかった。
Iochi's smile was so bright that it made me smile too.
君も一口どう？
I opened my mouth by reflex. I thought about how often I shared food with my younger sisters, but I'd rarely ever received anything myself. It was the same spoon that Iochi was using, but maybe they didn't mind. I felt a little embarrassed, but still ate it. Oh, it was hot. I forgot that it was freshly baked. Iochi also seemed to have forgotten and apologized while handing me some tea.
ごめん。冷ましてからあげればよかった。はい。冷たいお茶。
Wrecked. Right. I took it and washed it down. The chilled tea helped a lot, and the pain didn't linger that long. The embarrassment of sharing that spoon was gone, and I just sighed in relief as we looked at each other.
本当にごめんね。そこまで熱いと思わなかったよ。何かお詫びを考えておかないと。
There's no need for that. It was just a little hot. I was exaggerating.
いや、僕が謝りたいだけだよ。いろいろとごめんね。
That expression was so serious that I didn't know how to respond.
そうだ。他にも君に見せたい資料があったんだ。今食べてしまうから、ちょっと待ってね。
Oh, sure. Take your time. Although I said that, once Iochi was done and we started to look at the data, I began to feel drowsy. Maybe it was because I ate something warm. It was difficult to resist my sleepiness. I'm sorry. I know we're still talking, but I'm a bit sleepy. I'm going back to my room.
そうなの？あと少しなんだけど、ここの最後まで確認できないかな。すぐ終わるから。
But I was so drowsy that I couldn't even talk straight. Despite that, Iochi wouldn't let me leave and held onto my arm.
今日別の資料を確認していて思ったんだけど、この部分はね。
I can't. Iochi just told me yesterday too. I feel so sleepy. What the heck? Is she like an insomniac or something? Like what? Or not insomniac? What? Like what's the fucking narco something? Narcolepsy? Narcoleptic? There we go. My eyelids drooped and I suddenly fell asleep. It was as if I'd just passed out. I don't remember what happened after that. Maybe she is a narcoleptic. Cause like remember last time like Iochi was saying, oh, like the wolf thing, you know, where it's like, oh, you shouldn't be falling asleep in front of like random places or like in random areas and stuff like that. But like maybe Sena literally can't help it and just passes out in random locations. But it's like really strange that Sena literally could not control the sleepiness. Or is the food drugged? Like, but then Iochi would have passed out too, no? What the heck? The world seemed to rock back and forth, and in the next instant, I heard the sound of a door and I opened my eyes, revealing a pretty face, sharp eyes and long eyelashes, a straight nose. I thought about how beautiful that face was and I jumped awake. Oh, picture get! What? Iochi?
おや、目が覚めた。完全に熟睡してるかと思ったけど。
Ta-da! Oh my god! Iochi is very pretty, but what the heck? I'm awake now. I'm completely awake. I'm sure I'm heavy. Please put me down.
そんなに慌てなくても平気だから安心して。ほら、手を離すと落ちちゃうよ。
I looked around for something to grab onto while Iochi just laughed joyfully as they looked at me. I was taken to my bed soon after. It was the first time I'd been carried like that, and it was more surprising that it was by Iochi. That would be impossible for most women to do, right? What does that mean? Also, that's so sexist. I feel like there's a lot of women that are like really strong too, you know? So it'd be more embarrassing if Iochi were a man. It took me too long to come up with those ideas, and I was gently let down onto my bed. Iochi's hair gently brushed against my cheek, and it made my heart race even more.
靴も脱がせてあげようか、お姫様。
Oh, I can take them off myself. It's embarrassing when you liken me to Sleeping Beauty, and
それより、
I'm sorry I fell asleep. You just warned me about it yesterday.
ん？
I sat on my bed while removing my shoes. When I looked up, Iochi was looking right at me. Iochi?
もし僕らが元の世界で出会っていたら、どんな風に言葉を交わしたんだろうね。今みたいに話すことはできたかな。
See, this is that thing again. Like, Iochi had mentioned at one point that they wished that they didn't meet Sena right here, right now, and that they cursed their encounter. That was a couple episodes ago. And now they're saying this again, where it's like, I wonder what we would have talked about if we met back in the original world. So it makes me feel like they, like, had met them before or something. I don't know. This seems kind of sudden. I want to talk with you in the same way. Someone as smart and kind as you. I've never met anyone that's almost ideal.
そんな人間がいたら僕も会いたいね。 実際の僕は自分にできることしかやらないただの現実主義者だ。理想なんて捨ててるよ。美しい理想を持てる人が羨ましい。
You must see yourself quite a bit differently than I do then, Iochi.
残念ながらね。
It's unfortunate, but I hesitated in choosing my words, and Iochi's kind smile returned.
しまった。眠いのに邪魔したね。そろそろおいとまするよ。
Oh, I thought I had to say something, but the words wouldn't come out. Iochi's going away. I started feeling nervous, and before I realized it, I grabbed onto Iochi's shirt. I froze upon realizing what I had done, and Iochi just turned around, perplexed. Oh, sorry. It's nothing. After my response, there was a short pause, followed by Iochi gently touching my forehead.
ゆっくりおやすみ。また明日。
Did they just kiss our forehead? Did that just happen? Did you guys just hear the little smorch? At first, I thought Iochi had only touched me with their hand, but when I had felt something soft on my forehead, their face was closer. Iochi kissed me on the forehead! I curled up and buried my face in my hands. The sense of shame that I had held back in the presence of Iochi suddenly came rushing forth. I was princess carried to the bed and then kissed on the forehead. I didn't mind, but what about Iochi? Does Iochi always do that? Or could Iochi be a woman who would easily do that to someone of the same sex? Either way, I crawled into bed, unsure if I'd fall asleep, but dawn arrived much faster than I'd expected. Oh my god. I'm sleepy. I plopped lifelessly on the sofa. Haiji was reading a book next to me, and I'd heard Bana and Iochi cleaning up in the kitchen after the lunch we'd had.
お姉ちゃん大丈夫？具合悪いの？
No, I just didn't sleep well.
眠いの？じゃあ寝たら？
And sleeping in the middle of the day would make me feel guilty.
罪悪感？
It just means I'd feel bad about it.
なるほど。
What about you, Haiji? What are you reading?
ヘンゼルとグレーテル。知ってる？
I do. It's not a very fun story, though. How far are you?
全部読んだよ。でもこういう絵本って何か教訓があるものなんでしょ？この本の場合何なのかなって考えてた。
いいね。小学生らしい学習だ。
Iochi. We'd already seen each other a few times since the morning, so I didn't feel as embarrassed as yesterday, but I still couldn't lock eyes with them. Iochi, on the other hand, didn't seem to mind one bit. They took the picture book that Haiji was holding.
古い童話は残虐性が高いということで大きく改変されていることが多いけど、この本はそうでもないみたいだね。
Maybe it's not censored because it was printed before the age of electronic paper.
そうだろうね。両親に捨てられた兄弟、ヘンゼルとグレーテル。森の奥から家に帰れるようにとパンをちぎって目印にしたのに、それを小鳥に食べられて家に帰れなくなった。おかげで森の中をさまよい歩き、やがてお菓子の家にたどり着く。しかしそこには人食いの魔女が住んでいた。
そんな感じ。でも兄が食べられそうになって妹が魔女をカバに突き落として殺しちゃうんだ。その後は家に帰ってめでたしめでたし。
Yay.
だいぶ省いたね。まあでも確かにそんな話だ。
It's a sad story. The siblings were abandoned by their parents because they had no food in the first place.
最後にはめでたしめでたしで終わっているよ。言うほど不幸な話かな。
魔女のところから持って帰った宝石でお金持ちになるんだよね。もうご飯には困らないと思うよ。
Okay, but they were still abandoned, and I also think it's a bit cruel to murder the witch.
けれど、 そのままでは家族全員が飢え死にしていたんじゃない？それなら、子供を犠牲にするのも致し方ないかも。
This reminds me of a comment that Genu Anime, thank you again, commented on the last episode that we just had about the Morpheus project. But they had mentioned that the MC doesn't have, like, their mom hasn't really been in the picture at all. So I wonder if this is kind of commenting and saying, like, has Sena's mom abandoned her children? Like, where's her parents? Because Sena seems to be the only one that, like, really does everything around the house. So, like, where's her mom? I wonder. I don't know.
魔女のことだって、グレーテルが殺さなければ兄弟は2人とも殺されていたんだ。当然の選択だと思うけどな。
I don't think Sena ate her mom, though, right? That'd be so messed up. I suppose so.
僕はそういった犠牲が時には必要なんだという教訓がこの物語には込められていると感じたね。何かを成すためには犠牲が必要だ。時には大切なものを切り捨てることもあるだろう。
犠牲か。お姉ちゃんはどう思った？
Me? Well, I think I could feel Iochi and Haiji staring at me, but I couldn't come up with a good answer. I don't agree that sacrifices are ever necessary. After a short silence, Iochi sat down next to me. It seemed that the debate would continue.
では彼らはどうすべきだったと思う？君が2人の親だったら？君がグレーテルだったらどうしてたかな？子供2人を切り捨てず4人で飢え死にを選ぶ？魔女に食べられるヘンゼルを見殺しにし一人で助かる道を選ぶ？
So it's so interesting that this is like a story, because like my dad, when we were young, me and my sister were young. This is a horrible story. Trigger warning. Wee woo wee woo. This is an awful story. So traditional Chinese parent story. My parents grew up in the Cultural Revolution. If you do not know what that is, this is like Mao Zedong era, like very poor time, lots of famine and stuff like that. So my dad told us when we were growing up, I didn't grow up in the famine, but my parents did, that when like he was told, like when he was growing up, that like there was a family that I think this is like a story about filial piety or something, but there was a family that like his mom, like the son's mom, was really sick and she was like dying or something like that of starvation because of the famine. And so the son was trying to like get food for his mom, and like she needed some type of protein in order to survive. And so seeing that there was no type of protein and all they had were the rations that were being handed out by the government, he literally like cut into his own flesh and like literally fed his mom himself in order to give his mom the sustenance that she needed in order to survive. This is literally the worst story, especially to tell me and my sister, who were very young at the time. We were like, I was probably 13, my sister was like 10. We were like, what? And my dad was like, this is what, like, the choices that you had to make when you are starving. And like it was like such an impactful thing. I remember as a kid being told this, because like we didn't grow up with that, you know, like we've never gone through anything like that. And we're located in America, so like we haven't gone through a famine yet, knock on wood, but yeah, it really puts stuff into perspective, like Iochi asking this question, like, would you do that? What would you do if you were put in this position where it's like, your family is starving, do you abandon your kids if you have kids? Would you abandon them? Or would you, like, do whatever it takes to feed them? Or, like, would you cut into yourself and feed them yourself? Like, would you, like, what lengths would you go to in order to stay together? Is the question, I guess, is where I'm getting at. And then the second question that Iochi is asking here is, like, do you let Hansel get eaten by the witch and find a way to survive alone? Like, I don't know. I don't know what I would do, right? Like, I personally think, like, as a parent, I don't think I could abandon my children. Like, if I'm not a parent in real life. I don't know if I'm ready for that responsibility, and I don't know if I ever will be. Like, that's something that I would have to talk to my partner about, right? But, like, if I was to have children, like, that, I made that decision already, you know? Like, I'm not going to abandon my children just because things are difficult. And so, if we're going through a famine, like, I will do whatever it takes to feed them. Like, that's my choice there. Like, I made the choice to have the kids. Like, it's not their fault that we're in this position. So, like, I will do whatever it takes. That's kind of where my head's at. But I'm curious to see what Sena says there. I was given difficult choices. It was a mean way for Iochi to put it. I don't want to sacrifice anyone or let them die, but I still don't know what to do. I want to find a way for everyone to survive, and if possible, I want to avoid murdering the witch. Maybe she was hungry too. They were my words, but I looked at the floor because I wasn't confident about what I'd said. Would there ever be choices that convenient? Iochi pulled my chin up so that I'd look up again.
そういうかっこいいことは目を見て言わなきゃ。まっすぐにね。君の言った通りにできるといいね。その選択肢もあることを僕の頭の中に入れておこう。
My chin was held tightly, and I couldn't look away, so I backed away in the confusion. And we're gonna stop here. That is a crazy way to end. Sorry to end on such a fucking, like, that's such a crazy question. Seriously. Like, I guess that's the takeaway, though. Like, what would you sacrifice in order to, like, I don't know. Well, like, are you willing to sacrifice it all for someone else is really the thing. Like, are you willing to give it up for other people, or are you more so wanting to save yourself from it? Like, are you willing to sacrifice for your family, or are you willing to throw it away and save yourself from it? I don't know. It's so hard to, like, guess as to what your reaction will be because you don't know until you're in that moment. Because you could easily say, like, oh yeah, of course I would. And then the thing happens to you and you're like, no, I definitely couldn't. Like, I can't do this, right? I don't know. Next episode, we'll find out more, I suppose, from, I guess, Iochi, but maybe Haiji too, because Haiji hasn't said anything. It was just Iochi kind of stepping in and being like, tell me what you think. So, we'll see more from both of them? Maybe.